Hello, thank you for tuning into another episode of Take 10 on Tuesday with the Tennessee Tribune. I'm Jason Luntz. Today I've invited a special guest to talk to us about financial literacy in the African American community. I'm with Cory Beal, Sr. of Rekindle Dreams. How you doing today?
How's it going, Jason?
Man, I'm glad you're here, man. I know that money is something a lot of us think about and talk about. Maybe you can help us understand some more things about money and talk to us about what you're doing with the youth in our community.
Most definitely. Well, I appreciate you allowing me to come on this show and doing this interview with you. Something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, especially in the arena of talking about financial literacy within the community, within our community, actually. I mean, it's really simple. You know, money is a tool. And what I try to teach our youth is money is not designed to be spent. It is designed to be made.
Wow.
And you truly understand what money could do for you, then it can provide you with the lifestyle that you actually trying to get to.
Wow. So it's not made to be spent, but made to be
made.
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's deep. All right. So now how do you go about explaining this to the youth?
Well, one of the things I talk to the youth is when I sit down with them and I show them the power of $100 and tell them what this $100 bill could do besides buying them the freshest Jordans or the new True Religion jeans. I teach them this same $100 bill can help start your business.
Wow.
The $100 bill could be the fire that you need to get you to the next level. You know, the same $100 bill could buy you stock in the company that millions of people are wasting their money on.
Wow.
So they need to understand the importance of what that money could do for them.
Now, is your background in finances?
Well, my background is actually in banking. You know, I worked for some good banks here in Nashville, and that's when I noticed the issues with how we spend our money. Just watching us, how we handle our checking accounts. And so I knew then that we needed a voice. I didn't think it was too many voices out there back in 2004, 2005. I mean, besides Melody Hobson, I really didn't know anyone within our community, you know, that is speaking about money and how we're just wasting our money, you know, year in and year out. So,
what do you think are some of the reasons that our community tends to not have a grasp on how money works?
It's psychological. You know, the way we spend our money, from what I'm seeing, is how we mask our hurts.
Wow.
Like, when you don't know your worth, you tend to spend money on things to help validate whatever your worth is.
Wow.
You know, when you look in our community, if you have the latest Louis Vuitton bag, if you have the latest red bottoms, if you have the latest True Religion jeans, all it takes is for some people to say, yo, man, them jeans dope. Your bag dope.
Yeah.
You know, that's, are you looking clean? You know, you're working at a call center. No knock to the folks that are working at the call center. But what I'm saying is that I've seen about 1,000 call center fashion shows.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I've sat down with those same people who have all the material in the world, negative bank accounts.
Wow.
No life insurance, no college plans for their 2-3 kids, nothing, but they look like $1 million. So I think it comes from just years of not knowing your worth.
Wow. So is that why in Rekindle Dreams, your goal is to target young people? Is it, if we can start with the next generation, we can see a change? Yeah,
most definitely. You know, the great Frederick Douglass said it is much easier to work with kids than deal with dysfunctional adults.
Yes.
You know, when you get to a certain age, you know, your habits are your habits. Your vices are your vices. You are so emotionally tied to those things, it's very difficult to change. That's what you get when you're dealing with adults. You know, but when you're dealing with kids, you have an opportunity to plant seeds and watch it grow. You can help them cultivate their own financial garden. You know, because today's kids are more savvy because they're able to see what their parents are and are not doing.
Yes. Social media, for example.
Social media, for example. Most definitely.
Wow. That's a great point because if my mother and father made mistakes, I only saw what they presented to me. But now a 16-year-old can actually see their 40-something-year-old mother on Facebook.
Exactly.
Hanging out or spending their money unwisely.
Exactly. I mean, it is what we need to understand about kids is that kids don't listen, they emulate.
Okay.
So if you're not presenting them with an environment of financial excellence, like they said, the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Yes.
You know, you cannot have broke parents explaining how to save money when they're not the symbol of their rhetoric.
Yes.
Now they could give you testimonials rather, on where they failed at and why they consistently failing, but they can never really give you solid, concrete advice on how to do X, Y, Z when they're not doing ABC. And today's kids not going for it. They're just not going for it. They're not listening to mother.
Yeah.
They're not listening to daddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that's a great point. So if the parents are doing the right thing, it's going to show. But unfortunately, a lot of people aren't when it comes to their finances.
They're just not. I mean, just look at our community, for example. You know, I always say since Obama been elected, do you know that the average median income African Americans went down $7,000 per family?
Man, that's
so unfortunately these kids have to go through that.
Yes.
Right? But just ask this. You can ask anyone. Start by asking some of your friends, when the last time you sat down and had dinner with your kid and discussed stocks? When was the last time? I'm sure you could talk about gym shoes. I'm sure you could talk about anything materialistic. But when the last time you asked your kids, do you know what a stock is? Do you know what this home that we stay in is worth? Do you understand what equity is? They're not having these conversations. Why? Because the parents don't even know what they have.
They don't even understand. I also remember, and I wonder if that's an old mindset of thinking that when you if you asked your parents about their careers and incomes, a lot of times they would say, none of your business, or none. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Right, none of
but I don't know if that's like a mindset that needs to change too, like where parents should be willing to discuss with their children what we're worth and how you can have something like this one day.
Well, it's definitely a mindset. It's a dilapidated mindset that's been handed down century after century. When you look at our race, we are at the end of the day a very proud race.
Yes.
You didn't ask what Big Mama did. You didn't ask why Daddy did what Daddy did, which is now grandfather, right?
Yes.
Or great grandfather, which passed down to mother, which passes down. So dilapidated thinking or dysfunctional thinking has been passed down to our generations to where, no, you can't ask why X, Y, Z, because they really don't have an answer for what they're doing. All they know, they saw what their mother did.
Yes.
And instead of them explaining, why mom did what it is, it's much easier to operate in a position of authority and say, do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, that's great. So now we're with Kindle Dreams, and this is some exciting stuff. When you're with these younger people, let's talk first. What age group are we talking about that you like to focus on?
I'm trying to start as young as 6 all the way up to age 24, but lately I've been doing a lot in high schools and in colleges.
Okay.
And they're getting it. It's such a thirst for this knowledge that I'm presenting. It's mind blowing because once again, some of the kids that are using social media to benefit them, to enhance them, to learn about money, it's one thing to go on the internet and read an article, but it's another thing to have an expert right in front of you to answer these questions that you always wanted to ask. So all these questions I get from kids, it makes me appreciative because it lets me know there's hope there. These kids, they're hungry. They don't want to be like their parents. They don't want to work 40 years and retire at 65 broke. They don't want that.
No.
They trying to retire at 40, and they understand the fastest way they could get there if they start having a business at 14, 15, 16.
Yes.
And they start to understand money at a very young age. Yeah. And so, I'm excited about that. I love getting some of the questions I get from kids all day long. I talk about my son who owns stocks in Nike.
Oh, that's great.
It's good for him to say, hey, Dad, I want to make myself rich today. I want to buy me some Jordans. I have no problem buying that because I know we're investing in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, okay, when you talk about buying Jordans, it's a little different because you actually own a percentage of Nike. So that makes actually understanding how this capitalistic system works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I let you go, because we're talking about finance, we just finished just started the holiday shopping season, and I know that Black Friday there was a lot of controversy about people saying, let's show America the power of black spending.
Exactly.
Is there anything that you want to say as far as Black Friday boycotts? This whole shopping season. Do you recommend that we spend more money within our community?
I definitely recommend that we spend more money in our community, because if you look at our communities, we're the most destitute of all communities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said the black dollar only circulate in our community every 6 hours, then it's gone. But if you go in the Asian community, that dollar in the Asian community circulate 19 days.
Wow.
So 19 different businesses get that opportunity to earn a percentage of that dollar before it leaves that community. And you wonder why. Have you ever saw a broke Asian community?
No.
Have you ever saw 15 churches in the Asian community?
No.
Have you ever saw any advanced financials or cash payday loans in Asian communities?
No.
It's the reason why, because they reinvest in their community. You can't reinvest in your community if it's gone in 6 hours.
6 hours.
You can't.
Wow.
You know, so an unadulterated truth that people hate to talk about is that money is power. Regardless of whatever your pastor say, regardless of whatever your life coach say, money is power. Money provides you with the opportunity to get to the next level if you leverage it right. So if you really want a seat at the table, it is imperative you control your own economy. He who does not control his own economy does not have an opinion of how the economy works.
Wow. Wow. That's great, man. That's some great... Well, I guess that gives us an idea of how you bring it and keep it real with people. All right, do you have anything coming up soon?
Well, I got a big event coming up in December, on December 5th, out in Atlanta with my friend Chad Jones. We're going to teach people how to finance their travel dreams. A lot of people that want to study abroad or live abroad, but they don't have the financial means to do it. So I'm going to be there to help a couple of women who love to travel, how to get their finances in order. I know I have a few other events that I'm working on in 2016. I got something big in February coming up. It's Nashville, so you guys are going to love it. Trust me, couples, you really need to know how to spend your money and how to invest in your mate. We got that coming up in February. I got things coming up in March in California. I'm all over.
You're all over?
I'm all over.
Well, then I guess the best thing to do in that case is, do you have an email, a website, maybe somewhere they can contact you, any social media?
Well, it's under construction right now, but it'll be done by the end of the week. But you could go to www.CoryBealSenior.com. That is CoryBealSR.com. You can reach me at 615-999-8767. You can also go on my Facebook page. You can look up Rekindle Dreams on my Facebook. Those are ways you can definitely get in contact with me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably the most transparent financial expert, in the South. The most I'm going to give it to you raw. Okay. I'm going to give it to you with no chaser. But at the end of the day, I have a heart and a passion to improve financial literacy within our African American community.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate
Keep it going. Letting the young people know better ways to spend their money, and we appreciate you here.
Most definitely. Thank you. Have me back anytime.
All right, man. Thanks again.
Thanks,
And
Jason.
once again, you tune into Take 10 on Tuesday with the Tennessee Tribune. I'll see you next time.
See you, pal.